Sorry about that, folks. So we had some technical challenges today. A new one for me. We had another someone else in our company was using our live stream account, and that got in the way. Never had that one happen before. But thank you and welcome to Production Pulse, the regular Industry Week live stream where we discuss important topics for the manufacturing world. I'm Robert Schoenberger, editor-in-chief of Industry Week, and welcome to today's session. Today, we're going to be discussing one of the most important topics in manufacturing in just about every industry, which is workforce development. Anna Smith, news editor at IndustryWeek, we recently wrote a really great piece looking at companies and organizations that were using recruitment efforts with middle school students and even sometimes younger students to try to get people interested in the manufacturing world and STEM careers very early. So I'm going to turn things over to Anna to talk a little bit about the topic and introduce our guest today. Anna, take it away.
Thanks, Robert. So thanks everyone for joining me today. I thought really quick we could start out with just an interesting piece of data on the topic. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, STEM occupations are projected to grow 10.8% between 2022 and 2032, compared to just 2.3% for non-STEM occupations. So there is a growing conversation about STEM visibility for youth. And with that, I would like to have each panelist introduce themselves and explain the initiatives that they're involved with. So Michael, is it okay if we start with you?
Sure, happy to be with all of you today. Michael Gretczko, I'm with Deloitte Consulting. I'm a principal there and the sponsor of a program we call the Smart Factory Believers Program. And it's focused, aligned with Anna's introduction, on identifying underserved communities around the United States where we can help drive awareness and interest in STEM careers. That's the intersection of STEM skills and manufacturing. And we provide a rover kit, which is essentially a toy that's designed to teach STEM skills, along with a curriculum and a set of practical exercises. And we focus on middle and high school age children to get them interested in STEM careers, to help build the skills that are needed to have careers in that area, and to hopefully help fill what is a sizable talent gap in the marketplace around STEM fluent folks focused in manufacturing. I'm excited to talk more about it with the other panelists today.
All right, great. David?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me. I'm David Hook. I work at CoorsTek. We're a technical ceramics company based in Golden, Colorado. And for the past 5 years, we've been the title sponsor for the Denver Metro Regional Science and Engineering Fair. It's a great program. It pulls from all around the Denver metro area, as you might expect, grades 6 through 12. And the students are kind of tasked with answering their own questions, starting with a hypothesis. They get a few months to work it out. And then at the actual culmination of the event, we hold a science fair we completely take over the CU Denver gym, and they get to present their work in a really professional setting. And the judges are all people from industry, taking the work on its merits, and they compete for, of course, prizes, but also the opportunity to continue on and present their work internationally. It's a great program, and we're really proud to be sponsoring it the past few years.
All right, and Megan.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Megan Barrett. I am the Director of Operations at Engineering Tomorrow. The mission of Engineering Tomorrow is to inspire high school students to pursue engineering degrees in order to create a larger and more diverse engineering workforce to solve the engineering challenges of the future. We currently offer 22 labs, and all of our lab topics address global engineering challenges, from clean water to cybersecurity, pharmaceuticals, electric vehicles, and the most recent lab that we'll be presenting this fall is semiconductors. So very relevant, and all of our labs are developed by engineers, and they're actually delivered by engineers. There's two modes of delivery. They can be delivered either by a professionally recorded session that the engineer is on, or we do live Zoom events where the engineers engage with students. All of our programs are free. The labs have kits that go along with them, and those are all sent to schools for free. And this past school year, we worked with 3,600 schools across the United States and 572,000 high school students.
Wow.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Moving on, I just have some questions related to, the overall mission. So to start out, I would just ask generally, why does your company or nonprofit have the desire to encourage interest in STEM fields, especially for middle and high schoolers? And whoever wants to kick us off can get started.
I'm happy to start. I'm sure we'll all have different reasons why we're focused on it. We're really focused on, maybe three questions. Why are we focused on STEM? Why diverse students in particular? And then why middle school and high school? So on why STEM, when we look at the manufacturing talent marketplace, our research suggests that over the next 8 to 10 years, there's going to be something like 1.9 million jobs that are going to go unfilled in the manufacturing space as a result of lack of STEM fluent talent. That's a huge challenge for our clients who are manufacturers. And we think we've got a real responsibility to help encourage students to pursue what are very promising and rewarding careers in this space. Why diversity? Why do we focus on underserved communities? When you look at the STEM workforce, it's particularly underrepresented by females. There's something that STEM workforce is something like 65% male, and it's underrepresented by non-white folks, something like 23%. And what we've learned in everything that we do is diverse teams solve really hard problems much more effectively. So we think it's important that workforce is diverse. And last is just why do we focus on middle school and high school? What we found also in our research with some of our educational partners is the moment when students start to make a decision about the career they want to pursue, the realm of possibilities, career possibilities that are out there really happens in middle school. So we try to drive awareness around these career paths in the middle school area and then travel with those children as they move through middle school and high school years. So as they start to make choices around higher education and their ultimate employment in the workforce, that they see STEM as a path that they could pursue.
If anyone else wants to jump in on, why, especially for middle and high schoolers, STEM is such an important initiative.
Yes, I agree with everything Michael said. We need to reach high school students before they choose colleges and before they make sure that they're aware of the amazing careers that an engineering degree can afford them. And the bottom line is the world needs more engineers, and engineers at all levels, from the technician level all the way through the PhD level. If we're going to combat climate change, health and disease control, water availability and reuse, we need more engineers. And as Michael said, the majority of engineering and R&D focused companies report talent gaps. And without a rapid intervention, these gaps are only going to widen as baby boomers go into retirement. And again, to echo Michael's comments, numbers alone aren't going to do it. We need to have a diversity of perspectives to ensure that we have informed decision making on these really important issues that are facing all of us. And at Engineering Tomorrow, we have one more kind of like unique plug that where we have a real interest in this. Our organization is led primarily by engineers, including Bill Woodburn, who's the founder of our organization, the former CEO of GE Infrastructure and a co-founding partner of Global Infrastructure Partners. Bill and our team of engineers have experienced the joy and fulfillment that careers in engineering can afford, and they have a genuine desire to steward the next generation of American engineers.
My comments are related to pretty much all that. The difference maybe is that our effort in sponsoring the science fair is sort of hyper local. We're based out of Golden, Colorado. We've been around for over 100 years, and we just realized that if we want to be around for the next 100 years, we need to be investing in the community in which we're based. I mean, we're based all across the nation as well, but a huge presence in the Denver metro area. And so, yeah, supporting kids that really feel strongly that they want to go down this path. And I mean, the student that wants to do a science fair project as extra credit is already a student you want to see in your applicant pool. And then so supporting that, and then also just putting our own name out there a little bit. The fact that our logo's all over that science fair hopefully helps the students consider when they're ready to apply somewhere after they finish college. They might remember us fondly and remember that we do cool things and hopefully reach out to look for a job. That's what we're hoping for.
Mm-hmm. So it seems with all of your initiatives, there's some sort of kind of hands-on and experiential learning approach. Would you say you say that's an important aspect for the students?
I'll keep going, I guess, since I think it's incredibly important. It's maybe everything. It's, again, framed in the science fair. These students have a hypothesis. They come up with they work out an experiment and come up with some data. Just knowing that they have that power is just hugely influential, I think. Like to know that you can ask a question and use your own resources and your own brain to work it out, just figure out. I mean, maybe the path is easy, challenging. You don't get where you think you were going to go, but the fact that you took that journey and knowing that you can take that journey only helps a student as they progress forward into their careers. And anyone who hires engineers, that's the kind of person they want. They want someone who can just dive in and start figuring stuff out. And starting that early in middle school, high school, that's only going to help them.
Yes, I think, David. Most of us learn by doing. And at Engineering Tomorrow and at these other organizations, I think we're all taking that approach. At Engineering Tomorrow in particular, we figured out a way to blend the virtual instruction delivered by engineers with hands-on activities and really take the math and science that students are learning in the classroom with their teachers every day and bring it to life to solve real-world problems. Part of the hands-on aspect that's also really important in the experiential learning that we offer is having engineers who are on our staff engage with the students, and then we also bring in special presenters, and they share their educational and engineering journeys with students. And as a result, the students can really put themselves in those shoes and say, I can see what the path could look like. And we've been very intentional about having people in front of students who are inspiring. This past year, we had Avery Bang. She starred in the IMAX film Dream Big, and she's in a prosperity. Marsha Ivins, she was a retired astronaut and veteran of 5 space shuttle missions. Adam Chire, he's the founder of Siri. I mean, we are getting super inspiring people in front of these students, and they're getting really excited about careers in engineering.
Yeah, look, maybe I'll just take it. I'll echo, but maybe I'll just use a specific example. We use what I mentioned in my introduction, a rover kit, which is basically a robot that you put together with a Raspberry Pi computer that we actually manufacture in a scaled down manufacturing facility that we have on the grounds of Wichita State University. And the intention there is to have children experience what it's like to work with these technologies in a real way. And part of what we try to do as Deloitte Consulting, one of the world's largest professional services firm, is to bring the business world into the classroom, to help those students understand how they can apply these skills in the real world and make it a career. And one of my favorite stories is a school that we invested in and ran our program in Texas. It was the first STEM program ever in that school. On the backs of the interest that the students demonstrated in that classroom with that teacher, they formed their first ever robotics team, went to nationals, placed in nationals, and we actually interviewed all these students, and they all finally saw this incredible world out there of working with robotics and placed and came back to their school, as STEM champions, standing alongside the sports athletes and the chess athletes and the drama professionals, and establishing STEM as a thing to be proud of and a thing that can bring recognition and pride to that school. We're trying to play for that across the nearly 12,000 students we've touched and the 80 or so communities that we continue to invest in.
So Michael and Megan already sort of touched on this, but I was wondering if there's anything anyone wants to add on the topic of the benefits of promoting STEM, not only to young kids, but also young kids in underserved communities. I was wondering if you wanted to add anything to the importance of kind of promoting those career paths.
I think, Michael, you see the industry at large a little more than I do, and it sounds like you do as well, Megan. But I can certainly speak from our own experience here within our company that, yeah, our applicant pool is very homogenous. Everyone looks like me, and it works okay. But we certainly recognize that if we want to keep moving into the future, the problems are only going to get harder. You can only, if we keep coming at it from the same direction, from based on people who have very similar growing up experiences, very similar backgrounds, it's just not the way to keep moving forward. We need those other perspectives, and we just got to figure out a way to get the applicant pool to be more diverse. And the way one of the ways we're trying to do it is to invest in this local science fair that does actually have quite a diverse set of students attending it.
Maybe I can just add one more thought on it, if it's okay. Just, one other thing that we've found, which has been really powerful, is investing in teachers that are diverse, and helping them understand, as I said earlier, the business world outside the educational world, and giving them the skills and confidence to teach STEM. What's really rewarding there is, one, they serve as a role model for the students that they're touching, right, with these STEM skills. But more importantly, the ROI, right, the return on investment of investing in one teacher who then touches generations of students afterwards, that's if you will, the gift that keeps on giving in terms of building, even more than just the immediate students that you touch. So we think investing in both is the way to really help uplift these communities and help these schools do even more to prepare these students for the future.
That's a great point.
And finally, I was wondering, what's kind of the end goal? What are the long-term effects these programs will have on the future industry skills gap?
I can speak for Engineering Tomorrow. So we have 3 goals at our organization. And if we can deliver on these goals, you're going to have a huge impact on the skills gap. Our first goal is to increase the number of U.S. students pursuing America remains the leader in innovation and problem solving. Our second goal is to remove historic barriers to entering the profession by reaching under-resourced schools and historically underrepresented students, females, Black students, Hispanic students. And then our last goal is to develop engineers who are skilled and motivated, and that's where the inspiration comes in our program, to solve the global challenges that we've all talked about right on this call. So I think programs like this, if they are successful, and by all accounts, the representatives you have here on the line today are sharing really successful programs, we're going to have an impact on the future.
So that was all I had for our conversation today. And so I just wanted to thank our panelists again for joining us today. If you want to learn more about the CoorsTek Science Fair and the Deloitte Smart Factory Believers program, we have the story that Robert mentioned at the beginning, putting STEM into the hands of middle and high schoolers. So you could also check that out to learn more. Please join us again on the 31st for our next episode of Production Pulse. And again, thank you everyone for joining us today.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.